Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is modded Factorio. I am the gameblot. We fixed our power problem, and oh boy, we are slowly, very, very slowly producing some solar panels, as well as just the first level of accumulator. Just our basic ones, 2 iron plate, 5 batteries. We're running incredibly low on iron though. Our robots are still slow as a wet week. And we're getting our coal filters up. And now, we do actually have to do one tiny little thing. This, and that involves us getting, not necessarily the filter frames, because we do actually have a fair amount of those. More the coal filters. Coal filters will be putting... Actually, no, that's a good idea. Okay. Yep. Alt key hides what is actually being made in the machines. Alright, so we're going to split off some of this coal. In fact, I think probably not an 800 stockpile. For emergencies, we will make a smallish stockpile of coal. I believe that's a good idea, considering problems that we've had recently. Alright, we're actually going to put... Where are they? Where'd they go? 71 we have in here, and the 151 that we've got right there. Go up, and then we're going to hook all of this up to actual power. Go. Alrighty then, this requires us to have... Okay, run purified water up here. And then move the... whatever it is. The flotation water. All the way back down again. This stuff creates a lot of flotation water. Seems to be the end product for a lot of things. That in there. Alright. Up like that. Yeah, the other byproduct of this, obviously, is our slag slurry. Rather, whatever slag slurry. Mineral sludge, I believe it is called, which will then be crystallizing into copper, made in a crystallizing machine here. I'm not sure if we want to run it into a tank or not. Supposedly there also isn't going to be a whole lot of it either. We'll figure that out in this now. As a result of all our iron problems. All the empty ones will just stash back in that chest. Much of a problem in that. Hopefully work out fine. The one thing we are missing still is the purified water. So let's take a bit of a hike. Not to go get it all, we're going steel piping. Something that I have discovered while playing is that the size matters. It does actually for this. Because it is a thinner pipe, liquids will actually travel further because of the restriction that it has. Whereas in the stone pipes, because it is wider, liquid doesn't tend to, travels, I guess, slower. Is what I would assume. Alright, we need to bring all this over. One of the good things that has happened is we've actually filled up on all of this again. Still doesn't mean that we're actually processing because we're out of crushed things. Why are we out of crushed things? Because something else is full. We're not full there. Because these have completed up. Because our slag has completely filled up. Right. Guess we start inputting it again. Right, that'll be where everything is completely ground to a halt because we have all the slag. Right. That makes sense. I just don't think sometimes. It's my problem. Anyway, we've got all this purified water taken from here. Actually, head down this way as well. Send it straight up the middle. We can also turn all of this crystal slurry that we are creating as well into iron and copper. But we still need all the iron in a very bad way. Good. Some more pipe. This isn't the most exciting of it. But can. Alright, that should now be creating something cool. Alright, I guess we will store this just for now while we run some stuff over. Alright. Patient wastewater, and we'll store the other bits over here. There, like so. We're going to use stone for the outputs, but I don't think that's necessary. Yeah, run that all together. And then we'll send it out to get processed. We do actually have a backlog on sulfur now, which is nice. Because it means that we won't be running out anytime soon. Squeak through mod is amazing. That down the line, up there. A whole lot of it. There's a little bit being created, but not a whole lot. In fact, there's anyway, never mind that. Okay, so the next thing we need is our crystallizers. I'll get this done in the next minute or so. Crystallizers, we're going to be creating this into here. Go. Some power. That's right. Make this one here iron. I'm going to bring you, offset that. Now, second one, our copper. Oops. You're in. Well, here. Outside. Grab all that. And then we'll start running all the belts down. Alright, in between now and the next episode, I'm going to get the crystal slurry set up to do exactly the same thing. Process it. So the crystal slurry. Doing currently. We can also process it into gems for the lasers. Something else that we obviously get set up at some point. I have, okay. Crystal slurry. Crystal slurry then gets turned into, well, droplets. Teardrops get turned into what? Teardrops get turned into. I think they're called crystal seedlings. The gem seed chunks. Gem seed chunks are made how? Well, the good news is we've got plenty of crushed sapphirite and stirotite, but we don't have any jivelite, so we'll go out for a hunt. We might have to hold the crystal slurry off for another time. But that's all we've got time for. In fact, we are over time. See you again in the next episode.